As I aim this channel towards something I am calling the Culturo Offensive, cultural forward looking ideas here on the channel in the coming year. Uh, One of the things that I will be talking about a little bit is the culture war type stuff. And something else I'm going to be talking about is business and business as it pertains to Disney. So, putting all three of those things together, I think that today's video topic, Marvel Heroes, is a very, or Marvel Rivals, I suppose I should say, is a very fitting uh, topic for what I want to cover going forward on the channel. I have two sources here, two different sources from the internet about different things with this game. I am not a gamer, but I think that this game and the cultural phenomenon that it has become allow us a larger talking point for what we are trying to do on this channel moving forward. And then I have some analysis and why this game matters towards the larger cultural context of what seems to be the moving the rolling tide of culture, etc. From MMOs.com, we have the following titled Marvel Rivals averaging 300,000 plus concurrent players weeks after release. The article itself reads as such: It's been 2 weeks since Marvel Rivals launched, and the game has, and this is a couple weeks old, 1 or 2 weeks old, and the game has averaged 300,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. The game is available on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Epic Games Store as well. Given the similarities in core gameplay, many have claimed the rise of Marvel Rivals means the death of Overwatch. While there's definitely some overlap, it's a bit too early to call the demise of Overwatch, as it's survived and remained fairly popular for 8 years. It launched back in 2016. While Blizzard doesn't release, and 2016 is a very interesting year when we're talking about culture wars, etc., so keep an eye on that. While Blizzard doesn't release player-based numbers for Overwatch, the Steam version averages 28,000 players, but most players are off Steam on Battle.net launcher and console. Marvel Rivals currently sits at the number 9 most played list on Xbox, while Overwatch is at number 18. These figures are a huge win for Marvel Rivals, but the question is whether it can maintain its popularity. Let me jump in here real quick. I am not a gamer. I do not I watch games of players of Civilization and of Banished here on YouTube. That's the only gaming content that I take in. That's the only gaming content that I watch. I like to watch those while I'm doing my planning periods, etc. My feed has been completely inundated by Marvel Rivals content. This suggests to me that the game is not just popular, it is growing in popularity. The article itself continues: the game is almost universally loved on Steam, with an average player score of 9 out of 10, but has a few issues. One that sticks out to me is the deceptive placement of bots in PvP matches. Players in quick play will often run into full teams of enemy bots, which are disguised as players. There's discussion on the topic on Reddit here and here. The deceptive use of bots in PvP modes is nothing new. It's commonplace in mobile games and quickly gaining popularity on PC and console games. The goal seems to be to maximize player enjoyment, but it feels strange as it's done deceptively. I think that is a gripe, but again, I'm not a gamer, so maybe it's more serious than I am willing to concede. Bots don't seem to appear in ranked, so it seems like Marvel Rivals is going the Fortnite route of using bots in quick play but not in competitive mode. That seems, from an outsider's point of view, to make sense to me. Time will tell if Marvel Rivals will truly surpass Overwatch as the hero shooter of choice and its current momentum. Given its current momentum, it's definitely possible. And then we have the next article here, the next source is about rumors about this game, rumors and leaks about this game. And let me tell you this: if no one cares about your game, if no one cares about your movie, if no one cares about your TV series, if no one cares about your book, if no one cares about your YouTube channel, there are no leaks, there are no rumors. So the very phenomenon of this game having leaks and rumors about its ambiance if you will, the surrounding sort of um, society around this game, the subculture around this game, the fact that there are news leaks, that there are rumors, etc., that there are fan theories, is a positive for this game. And we're going to get into why this is so important for the culture war type stuff in a moment. But from InsiderGaming.com by Sam Sipiol, Marvel Rivals leak claims Deadpool and more are on the way, and there is something pretty troubling in this article from my perspective. But the article does begin this way: a new leak has revealed several upcoming characters from Marvel Rivals, including Deadpool, Emma Frost, MODOK, and more. XOX Leak on X, formerly Twitter, has revealed this list of new characters along with other details for Marvel Rivals Season 1. Check out the leaked list of Marvel heroes below: Angela, Hitmonkey, Deadpool, Captain Marvel, Emma Frost, Phoenix Gray / Jean Grey, and MODOK. Here's the troubling thing. Deadpool, extremely popular character. Hitmonkey, very niche character, but very popular within the niche. And then you have Captain Marvel, who is right now an absolutely toxic character. You have in this list Jean Grey and Emma Frost, both serviceable characters. Angela, with whom I am not familiar, so I am assuming this is a post 1993 addition to the Marvel Universe. Perhaps I am incorrect. But you have, out of 7 characters, 4 female characters. Nothing wrong with female characters. In fact, we're going to talk about how popular they are in this game in a moment. But you have 1 popular character, 4 female characters that are less likely to be selected, and 1 character in Captain Marvel that is absolutely nuclear levels of toxic with the fan base at this point. Now, 1,000%, this can be an opportunity to reclaim the figure of Captain Marvel going forward for the Marvel Universe, going forward perhaps for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, going forward with the culture in general. But that is a very risky move, especially when you were talking about just the second wave of new characters coming to this game. Hitmonkey, by the way, had a very, I believe it was sort of a niche popular game about a decade ago, right? Very, very interesting character. So interesting. So there are a few characters in this game that are interesting, but not necessarily great choices. MODOK, by the way, I don't know why you have MODOK there if he's not already involved in the MCU. I don't think he comes out this early. I especially don't think he comes out before a character like Apocalypse, for example. Is Ultron in the game? I don't remember, but the article itself continues in the same thread. The leaker also revealed additional details for Marvel Rivals Season 1, including upcoming team-ups, maps, and more. Human Torch and The Thing are mentioned in the team-up section, and these characters were also recently leaked. However, Ultron was not spotted. Okay, there we go. Ultron was not spotted in any of the posts. That's why he was front of mind. In terms of maps, we might see Krakoa, Arakko, and New York come to the game. The leaker also provided an image for Marvel Rivals' new ranked season and revealed the arrival of Marvel Rivals X Marvel Other Games player icons. Here is a picture of Punisher from this game. Anyone who is sort of familiar with the culture wars as they have come to be known will notice and recognize something about this character portrayal very early. Those are guns. Those are missiles. 2 things that we had heard were absolutely off limits in most Marvel content just a little while ago, while the woke stuff was infiltrating all things Marvel and eventually bringing most of them to a grinding halt. So all of these guns and the ultra-violent nature of this game, I have seen some of the gameplay. It is cartoonish, but it is violent. Are a promising sign when you add in the fact that the game has been extremely popular. If this had been a dud for Marvel, If this had been a dud for Disney, it would not have made a difference. But what Marvel has to do, what Disney has to do, is look at this game, look at the success, and say, okay, we have to get back to those things that make sense. There's no, as far as I can tell, maybe I'm wrong. There's no plot to this game. There's no story to this game. This is a go out and shoot 'em up type of game. It is extremely popular. The only way to make that popular, because you don't have a story with which to work, you don't have a plot with which to work, is to make good stuff on the game itself, make the gameplay itself good. These types of characters, the Punisher, guns, that is fun for players. There are several players in the game, Black Widow, Hawkeye, that have guns and projectiles from them. This is something Disney was trying very hard to move away from, and move away from in male-driven content. This is something that Disney was trying very hard to rail against in general. The fact that Marvel Rivals has been so popular, utilizing characters like the Punisher, highlighting characters like the Punisher, is going to force the executives at Disney, is going to force the executives at Marvel to say, hold up. We're at the point where our business is failing. We're at the point where everything we do, every return we take, every moment that we spend on the business itself, we are reminded that we are failing. We are reminded nothing is working in our favor. We are reminded that we are screwing everything up and losing money. So when you put something like this out, and characters like the Punisher, with all of those guns in his hand, are very popular, then it becomes incumbent upon the management team to simply recognize that they are wrong. And recognizing that they're wrong, recognizing that you have a male-heavy audience, there's something else we have to talk about here. Butts. Sex appeal. This is a thumbnail from a YouTube video discussing which character in the video game has the nicest butt. This is sex appeal. Something that Marvel had long written off. Something that Marvel in the Iron Man 2 MCU era was absolutely verboten. Absolutely forbidden. Here we have, those aren't accidents. Those butts didn't just happen onto those characters. Those are 1000% designed, 1000% designed to be visibly appealing, 1000% designed to be very effeminate, very sexualized. Even Squirrel Girl here has a little cushion for the pushin'. There are so many character design choices in this game. The male characters are bulky and muscular. The female characters are lithe and effeminate. Sex appeal has absolutely been worked into this game. Something which was verboten at Marvel. Something which was verboten at Disney. It is back in this content. This content is popular. Once again, it is being forced upon these executives to realize the direction in which we were going is just without profit, is just without audience, is just without cultural dynamic. The next thing I want to bring up here is this. This picture here might not seem particularly exciting to anyone except myself, might not seem particularly important, but this is Wolverine here, yes? Wolverine is comic accurate short, looking every bit like Glenn Danzig that he should. Wolverine is a small character in the comics. Now, Hugh Jackman's like 6'3" or whatever, and super buff, whatever. They had every excuse in this game to make him on scale with the rest of the characters. They had every excuse to do that. They had every excuse to wipe what it was that he had been in the comic books. Instead, the makers and developers of this game decided we are going to make that character comic book accurate. Maybe not all of his outfit here, whatever, and maybe the Namor here is more movie specific than he is to the comics. But a character like Wolverine is being paid the homage to the comics that he deserves, the homage to the comics that is so sorely needed in these things which are normally culturally irrelevant. Video games based on comic books, video games based on movies. They had every excuse to make the movie accurate Wolverine. They did not. Here is a chart from this game. All-time peak in 14 hours, 444,286 players. A random snapshot of 305,631 players from Steam that was mentioned earlier to be the second, third, or fourth biggest platform for this game. I don't know the specifics about this, but this seems to be a very good chart for this game. From Statista, launched in early December 2024, hero shooter Marvel Rivals reported 10 million players at its launch weekend. Less than 2 weeks later, publisher and developer NetEase reported 20 million players for the team-based player versus player PvP title, making it a massive success. That was back 10 days ago on December 18th, 2024. Looking at this list here, these are the 33, I believe, playable characters. There are some very popular characters: Black Panther, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Venom, Thor, Captain America, the Hulk. Then there are lesser-known characters. Moon Knight, who I believe could be a very large, profitable character for Marvel, should they do it right. Doctor Strange, who is teetering between like C and B level character. Iron Fist, who has not yet broken out. All of these characters. But I mean, looking at this list, there are probably 30 characters from the X-Men side of things alone that I could name who should absolutely be in this game. Sabretooth, Mr. Sinister, Nightcrawler. Imagine how fun it would be to be teleporting about. Gambit, Juggernaut, Deadpool, as mentioned earlier, Forge with all of the weapons. You're looking at Cable. You're looking at Warpath, who would be one of the tank-type characters. You're looking at Cyclops, who would absolutely have a role in something like this. Rogue, Jubilee. Think how fun Morph would be, being able to Shang Tsung style transfer between all of the different characters. Sunspot, Colossus, Longshot, who would have all of the projectiles. There are so many characters that Marvel can wrap into this thing and claim a win for itself. There are so many characters in this universe that Disney could pull into the fray of this. I was just listing characters basically off the top of my head from the X-Men side of the Marvel Universe. Think about the 1,000 different skins you could put on Iron Man. This should be a win and this should be a win for Marvel, win for Disney, win for shareholders, and a devastating loss for all things considered quote unquote woke. The success of this game is a massive smackdown. We have seen so many failures over the past couple of years in the gaming scene. We have seen so many failures over the past couple of years in the movie scene. We have seen so many failures over the past couple of years in the comics, in the books, in the TV, in the Disney Plus department. They need to find a way to take a win from this game. They need to find a way to translate this game into growing popularity for their characters. There's a character in here somewhere. It's a shark. I have no idea who that character is. I am assuming that it is a post-1993-ish character, and people seem to absolutely be in love with that character in this game. All of a sudden, you have a plushie of that character. You are regaining cultural stance. I do not think that Disney and Marvel are gone. I do not think they are irredeemable. I think that they had better claim these things back very, very soon, or else they could be by the cultural wayside. This game's success, by all intents and purposes, by all observable facts, to me, is a win in the culture wars for sure. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other viewers on YouTube. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, this is the type of stuff that I'm going to be covering on this channel, and I hope to have you back for the next one.